Thank you. We're really looking forward to a real happy and exciting and healthy week. And throughout this week, I truly wish that every single cell in your body become a brand new cells, a different cell from what you used to have. You know, our body consists of all different kinds of cells. Liver cells, brain cells, skin cells. We are the cells. But if your cell is not really healthy, then you have a problem. So in 1980s, in early 80s, we physicians were learning about cells. Oh, when people are sick, there's a problem with the cells. Then in late 80s, then we begin to find out what is matter with the cells really has a lot to do with the genes inside the cells. It is the gene inside the cells determines the character and the function of the cells. If gene changes, then suddenly your cell begin to function strangely. For a long time, we physicians did not really know the gene in the cells are so flexible. So it is very easily changing. We used to believe that once you say it is hereditary, then that's it. You know, it's a hereditary. That means what? Hopeless. Hopeless. If your genes changed, it's a bad gene, and that's it. Hopeless. Still, people think that way. You know, when I was in medical school, in the internship and residency, we never, ever even imagined that the cancer can be caused by gene change. Your breast cells, okay, in case of breast cancer, your breast cell, the normal healthy breast cell, is now changed to cancer cell. Why? There is a gene change. So today, we are now really in the what? In the Human Genome Project, right? National, in America, that the National Human Genome Project director is Dr. Colin Francis. And he was so pleased to announce last April that this Genome Project can be what? Completed 2 years earlier than expected. And you know what he said? Now we can read the book of life. What is book of life? Book of life is genes. See? I'll show you why they call it book of life. Because it is letters. The genes are the letters. That's why they call it book of life. Now we also can read the book of life once only God could read. Isn't that an interesting statement? Yeah. So only God used to read the book of life. Now we can read it. So let me show you the picture of the cell now. I have a signal up here. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here, this is cell, picture of the cell. Okay, and this is cell membrane. Cell membrane, and this is nucleus. And this, the red stuff, you call it mitochondria. Okay. What's mitochondria do? Do you know what mitochondria do? Anybody? This is just like an engine for your cars, where the fuel comes in and burns and produce energy. Okay. So we'll talk about mitochondria a little later. And this is nucleus. The genes are in this nucleus. If you open up the nucleus, then there are genes. Okay. Let's get in there. Okay. If you open the nucleus, you can see this kind of thing. Do you know what do you call this? And this is a chromosome. Okay, chromosome. Okay. How many chromosomes we have in our cells? Actually, these are two chromosomes in pair. So this side came from daddy, this side came from mommy. Okay, so we have 23 pairs in our human cells. Okay, in those chromosomes we have about 30 to 40,000. Some scientists says 36,000. Some scientists says 40,000 genes, all different genes in this chromosome. So in 23 pairs of the chromosome, we have all these 40,000 genes in there, all different kinds. The genes which determines your color of hair, skin color, your height, whatever. All kinds of genes are stored there. So it is according to the computer, the chromosome can be what? Sort of hard disk, right? So about 23 hard disk is there. And so in this hard disk, all different files, programs are stored there. Okay. Now, let me show you this. Now let's look at the chromosome sort of more detail. Okay. This is one chromosome. This side came from mommy, and this side came from daddy. Okay. This is just like a thread. If we untangle it, pull it out, then it looks like this, okay? And then look like this. That's interesting structure, right? Yeah. And this yellow stuff we call histone, but you don't need to remember. Then if we gradually magnify this line, then you can see these two lines here. And then you begin to see, if you magnify further, you begin to see what? About 4 different kinds of chemicals are arranged here in pair again, right? Wow. So, what is your gene? There are 2 lines, and in between 2 lines, there's 4 different chemicals. That's it. That's the gene, you know. This chemicals scientists call base, B-E-S-E. So 4 different kinds of bases. Okay, 4 different kinds of bases. There's a name. Okay. Sorry, this is in Korean. So this one is adenine, A, so in abbreviation, A, capital A, thymine, T, and guanine, G, cytosine, C. So A base and T base, and G base and C base. So A, T, G, C is arranged in between how many lines? 2 lines. What do you do in between 2 lines? Usually. What do you do in between 2 lines? You drive in between 2 lines, right? Yeah. Okay. What else you do in between 2 lines? You write. That's right. See? So, whatever is in between two lines should be what? Letters you write, isn't it? Yeah. And scientists found out, indeed, those are the letters. You know? Those are the letters. So how, in what sequence it is arranged determines the meaning of the letters. So these are the letters. Okay. So God made, first of all, what? 2 lines. So he put 4 different bases in between 2 lines. And he is writing. That's why they call it what? Book of Life of God. Even to those scientists who does not believe God, even they say what? This is God's life book. Yeah, because human being never wrote this before. Okay. See, so they found out this is letter. Okay. Okay, let me show you a little bit more detail, which is, this is another picture of gene. This entire structure, 2 lines. This is 1 line, and this is a sort of a twisted line, right? And in between, these 4 different what? Bases, right? 4 different bases. All these lines, see, they call it what? This entire structure, scientists call DNA. Okay, DNA. So, you know, genes are very easy, believe me, okay? Whenever you see gene, they're talking about genes on the television, in the books, and you already want, oh, this is too tough for me to understand. No, don't think that way. It is anybody. God is always fun God and the simple. You know that? Yeah. We human beings make everything complex. Yeah. But as far as God goes, he is so simple. You know. Human English alphabet, how many letters? 26. Yeah, 26. In Korean, we have 24. We make it complex, but God has only what? 4 alphabet, period. Yeah. That's it. Okay. God is very simple. Okay. So, be ready, be prepared to understand the simple stuff, okay? It is simple. It is so much fun. Okay. Now you can see here a little bit detailed picture of the line. So line is a white line, but in between these white segments, there's a sort of brown what? Brown things in between. Do you know what it is? This is attachment of the line, sort of kind of glue, putting lines together. Okay. So God is making line longer and longer. If you need a longer line, longer letter, then God, what? Make 2 lines longer, so he gets something. This white stuff. What is this white stuff then? Okay, let's look at carefully. Next one. Okay, here. Now we have this structure. Look. Okay, this white part is chemically, it is sugar part. The sugar makes the line, okay? And this brownish part is a phosphoric acid. It's a glue, okay? And now this part is what? ATGC part. It's a base part. So, to make the entire structure of the DNA, gene, okay, DNA, all you need to have is what? These 3 different what? Parts, yes. So genes are assembled structure. They're sort of like a puzzle, they put together. And just how many different kinds of stuff? 3 different kinds. Actually, to have what? 4 different bases. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. It's actually, to make an entire gene, all you have to do is what? How many different kinds of chemicals? 6 different chemicals. That's right. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? You understand? Yeah. So simple. If you can't understand this, then I have to call you stupid. Anyway. Yeah. So it is so simple. So it is what? So when these parts, 3 parts put together, become 1 unit, right? And then this unit, look, these units are putting together. So that's why it become what? 2 lines, right? See? And it become like this. See? And then you, what do you do? Twist it. Yeah. Why you need to twist instead of a straight line? That's right. You need to twist, to squish everything in a small space, right? If it's a straight line, boy, it's a big problem. Big problem. All right. Okay. So now the interesting thing is, look, when these 2 different bases, they are combining, it requires some kind of energy, okay? Yeah. This picture shows, this Korean letter says hydrogen bond, okay? So these 2 different bases, they put together in hydrogen bond. Little energy is required. So what do you think this picture is trying to show you? It requires, to bind these 2 different bases, it requires some energies. Strong energy or weak energy? Do you think? You think flies are strong? No, come on. I guess I have some headache here. Yeah, it requires very weak energy. Even 2 flies pushed together, it will come together. So easy, so weak energy. It is just like a what? Zipper. Yeah. Once you just to separate the zipper, the zipper. What do you do? Just pull it down. It separates. To put it together, what do you do? Zip up. And it is combined, right? Just like it, very easily separable and what? Combinable. So genes, scientists nowadays found out it does not require that strong what? Energy to form the gene. Very slight energy. And so it is easily combined and it is easily what? Separated. Even 2 flies pulled together, then this is separated. Why? Why gene structure is so easily separable and combinable? Do you know what? Genes are constantly moving, to have what? To have a cell division. What do we have to do? They need to copy the genes, So gene need to be what? A zip open, Yeah. And then when copy is done, they need to be what? Zipped up again. See? So this is the way the structure of the gene is. So gene is assembled, okay? It is just like a puzzle, just like Lego. The little children play with what? Lego. They put together. Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't like a certain shape, then what do they do? They take out one part and put another part, another color. See, this is how gene can also be changed very easily. Okay, very easily. All right. Now, so why scientists are calling those book, the genes, letters and books? Look at it. This 1 unit is like an alphabet, okay? And if these 3 different kind of bases get together, then it is just like a 3 different what? alphabet. So it becomes this is a word, vocabulary. And then when these vocabulary become long, now this is what? Gene, okay? Now this they call what? Sentence, right? Sentence. And this long sentence, all the genes are put together. This is what? This is chromosome, okay? And all the many sentences put together, it become what? Book. So how many books in our cells? 23 books. Yeah. So in this book, there's all the life information is stored. See? Yeah. So every single cell you have all these 23 books in your cells. Okay. And amazing, isn't it? Right? So there are skin book, liver book, brain book, Yeah. In that, if you open the skin book, then there's all different kinds of functions of the skin cells, all different files. Okay. Brain book, you open the brain book, then there's all different kind of function of the brain cell is filed. So according to your need, according to your situation, someone has to what? Click the right file, right? To make your cells function right, right? It's amazing, And there's someone, for us to be alive and healthy, someone has to constantly click different genes, different files to come up on the screen. And this is how you feel. Okay. If you feel happy, that means what? Someone clicked your endorphin gene. Right? So your endorphin gene is clicked, and the click means what? Click means some kind of spark, right? Signal came to this inactivated gene. When click comes, spark comes. When the signal comes, then let's say this yellow gene is endorphin gene. This endorphin gene is suddenly activated. Then this gene produces endorphin. Then you feel good. You feel good. Hey, I feel good. So think about this. When your husband gives you what? A sweet kiss on your cheek. You are sort of sad, a little depressed, but he comes to you and he... Then what happened? Pew! You feel good. See, we are living with the changing genes. See? When your genes are not moving, then that we call what? Depressed. If your husband come and kiss you, forget it. Yeah. Your endorphin gene is not activated at all. That means what? There's no click in your life. If click disappears, computer like you is unusable, right? Yeah. Very depressed computer. Okay. We're here this week to have new click, right? And then to have our what? Our inactivated genes to be what? Activated. Then you'll be healthy and happy, right? This is very important. Okay. So we need to know what is the true nature of the click, right? That is the key point. See? Yeah. So without click, we can't do anything. Sounds like a Bible verse, isn't it? Right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, John 15, right? Yeah. So we need this click. Okay. And that's why the click is the most important thing for your genes. Let me tell you something. Let me show you this very interesting picture here. This is from University of Wisconsin. Look at this. The cloth and the wire mothers, side by side, from the original hollow test of the importance of contact comfort. What a dry word, right? Contact comfort. Yeah. This is what scientists do, Yeah. And photo courtesy of the hollow primate laboratory, University of Wisconsin Medicine. Extremely interesting picture and the experimentation. Okay, this is terry cloth mom. Okay, and this mom sort of look like mom, right? Yeah, and feel like mom, huh? And this side, it's another mom. It is a chicken wire mom. Okay, and what is this? Huh? This is nipple. Okay, there's behind the nipple there is a milk bottle, and look at this. This mommy doesn't look like mom really. These two eyes and the mouth and the nose. And scientists were interested curious to see where this baby rhesus monkey goes. No, not to the milk. Not to the milk. And he stays with the terry cloth mom. Yeah. This we call what? Instinct. The love instinct is more powerful than what? Food instinct. Yeah. We didn't, this clearly shows this. Do you know what he does? When he becomes really hungry, then he does this. Look at this. Yeah. He still stays with what? With the terry cloth mom, and his only lips are going there. Wow, this really proves, what Jesus says, man shall not live by bread alone. The man shall live what? The word proceeds coming out of mouth of God. Word coming out of mouth of God means what? Love. Yeah, why? God is love. Whenever God says, it means what? I love you. I love you. But many people, it's not I love you. Whenever God opens his mouth, it is what? Warning, threatening. Be careful, my children. I'm going to kill you. No. See, that's the problem. If you read the Bible, if you hear the voice of God that way, then you'll love your food better, really. Because when you really understand the word coming out of mouth of God is love, then yes, this kind of thing apply to you. So, man, monkey shall not live by what? Food alone, bread alone. See? The love is so important. Let me show you another picture now. Look, when scientists removed that terry cloth mom, they used to put terry cloth mom in right here. Look at this guy. He goes to that same place where terry cloth mom used to be, right? And then when scientists put this strange object in the room, he's so scared, he doesn't even want to what? Look at it. I need mom, Okay. But when scientists put that terry cloth mom back and then put kind of scary object, and this guy is now brave. He said, "This is my place, get out," comes out even trying to bite. Became brave and see, having someone, I can trust. Having someone that I know he or she loves me, right? It changes a human being. It changes your genes so much. See? In this situation, see, all the genes are depressed and inactivated, right? That's why when you have the fear, every gene's what? Yeah, depressed and inactivated. Yeah. That's why it is very important when you're Christian to know God who loves you unconditionally. Very important. Yeah. So, having religion is not really having a religion. Having religion is not really religion. To so many people, God and the truth is religion. I'm not interested in religion. I'm interested in what? God himself, really. Yeah. Yeah. God is, and in his love I am interested. See? Yes. See? So look at it. Does this baby knows this terry cloth mom is not real mom or fake mom? Does he know that? He does. He knows. He knows. But even though he knows this is fake, he consider this is what? Real mom. He adopt. It is just like your daughters, when you guys were little girls too. You played with what? Fake baby. And you considered and that little doll as what? Baby. See. Then you had what? You had a lot of endorphin. See? This means what? Even though something is not real, even though it is fake, your gene can what? Respond to that fake according to the meaning you what? You provide. Right? So, if that doll was given to you, somebody you hate, somebody who scared you so much, and you are even scared at that doll too, right? You're not going to play with that, right? So, what does gene respond to? According to what? According to the meaning. Our gene respond to the meaning. Looking at this wonderful experimentation, I figured out this way. Wow! Even though you consider, even though you know it is fake, but you provide the significant or meaningful meaning on it, then your genes can what? Then your genes can react. The genes are really responding to the meaning. We'll prove this important point a little bit later, more. Okay, so your gene respond to what? Meaning. Okay, remember that. We'll get to that point again. But this is another important point. Okay. Even though it is fake, if you provide meaning, you respond properly, right? Yeah. But if you really know somebody who is real, right? How much more your gene can respond, right? You know? So, if God is so real to you, if God, who is love, is so real to you, do you know how much benefit you can have, right? Yeah, this biologically, it makes your genes alive and active. That's what God is. Indeed, God is love. At the same time, God is what? Life. See? That's why Jesus says, I am the way, I am the what? Truth. And it is not fake. Even fake can what? Activate our genes. But when he is not fake, he is what? Truth. And he says, I am the life. Yeah. So with that kind of what? Activation and activities of the genes, we can what? We can be alive and happy and healthy. Okay. Now, even at this point, you're listening to me right now. Okay. And are you glad you're here? Yeah, okay. And if you begin to feel, yes, I'm glad to be here. At that point, what happened? Your many genes are activated. See? I'm so glad I came. You know, I wasn't really sure about this, you know. Boy, from the beginning, right? It's exciting. I think I'm going to be what? I'm going to be changed, right? Yeah. Wow. Now you can see why you become sick person, right? Without knowing, your genes were what? Changing. Yeah. And your cell become abnormal cells. See? It was sort of what? Not really healthy meaning was coming into your gene, and your gene was changing into what? Unhealthy way. See? What does it mean that gene change? Okay, you saw the gene structure, right? I told you, gene is assembled structure with the 4 different bases, right? What does it mean that the gene changes? That's a base, that's right. So, we scientists call this base sequence, okay? In the letter to what? Write something, the sequence is important, right? Yes. Yeah. My name is Shang Li. Yeah. Well, let's go back to God then. The God is G-O-D, right? If you put the G and the D the other way around, what happened? An entirely different meaning. The letters exist. Letters exist to what? To reveal your meaning. See, I told you gene respond to the meaning. Why gene respond to meaning? Because gene is letters which represent, which reveals what? Meaning. That's why. That's why. So, the gene which is letter is the letters what God what? Meant. Isn't it? Right? That's right. So, there's an original sequence of the bases in the gene which God put. That was his original letter. But in our lifetime, we what? We changes. Yes. Oh. See? My name is Sang. What happened if you switch around A and N. I become what? Shang Li. Terrible name, isn't it? Snag. Yeah. See? This is what happened. You're sick, and you have certain kind of sickness means this. That's all. See? If you have some problem in the what? In the gene in the brain, okay? And the Shang gene become what? Snag gene. Then you have a snag disease. Yeah, snag syndrome. Okay. Yeah. This is what it means. Okay. This is very important concept. So, when we are in medical school, I was in medical school in 1960s, diseases were very complex. Yeah, the hepatitis, cancer, there is a colitis, there is what, the allergy, asthmas, and there's a depression, there's a schizophrenia, there's Alzheimer's disease, osteoporosis. So complex. But now in this 21st century, disease become what? So simple. Why? Every single disease has its own what? Gene change, period. That's it. Yeah, that's it. It's no longer that complex, you know. So scientists made something called human genome. That means what? Gene map. So there's 23 pairs of chromosomes, and scientists now locate on which chromosome there's a chromosome number 1, number 2, number 3 to what? Number 22 and the number 23 is XX or XY. See? If it happened to be XY, then we're what? Male, right? If it is XX, it is what? A female, right? So, on these 23 pairs, in which number of the chromosome, number 7, in which location, there's a certain genes. If this gene has snag problem, then you have certain disease. According to the which file has a snag problem. Okay? So that we call a gene map. Let me show you gene map. Okay. This is right here. Can you, this is, I need to show this top. Okay, that's a human genome, right? Chromosome number 1, number 2, number 3, and 15, 19, number 22, and what? X and what? Y, right? See? Look at this. If you have some weight problem, you have a problem with this gene, obesity gene. See? Yeah. Like when you're a teenager, you didn't have any problem with weight, right? So after 42, you begin to gain weight, uncontrollable. That means what? When you're 15, you didn't have a problem with this gene. All the base sequence was what? Yeah, it's all original. But when you become 42, snag happened. Okay. Therefore, your genes, whenever your gene want to say sang, but it says what? Snag. A problem. See? That's obesity. Okay. Now, look at this. Diabetes, right? Yeah, diabetes and epilepsy. See? And there's so many malignant melanoma, diabetes gene again. Look at this. Alzheimer, glaucoma, prostate cancer, right? So now scientists know all the genes. We now know 99.8% of genes. That's why we humans are boasting now. Now we can read what? The book of life only God used to read. See? Wow, right? And so, look at this. Let me show you the lung cancer gene, right? The colon cancer, right? Parkinson's disease, and breast cancer. See, breast cancer, chromosome 13, breast cancer. And there's something interesting I like to show is this chromosome 17, there's a p53 genes. Okay, this gene is p53 gene, and this gene produces tumor suppressor protein. What this means is, this p53 gene normally, if p53 gene does not have a snag problem, then it can produce tumor suppressor protein, which suppresses your cell not to become cancer cell. But if this p53 gene has a snag problem, then you have what? All kinds of cancer. Okay. So there are so many diseases. There's all this autoimmune, chronic myeloid leukemia, atherosclerosis, right? So, now, isn't that now simple, right? Diseases are simple. No matter what kind of disease people have, it is what? It is all, the only difference is what? On which chromosome, which gene has snag problem. That's all. So, healing become very simple business. God is simple, you know. We human made it so complex, you know. What can you do to have healing, to achieve the healing? No, be simple. Be so simple. You have a snag problem in different genes. So, how can you heal?
Fix it.
Yeah. Fix snag into what? Sang. That's it, period. then problem is done, really. Today's medicine is so complex. We never knew this before, okay? Therefore, all the, we call it treatment, is what? Is trying to kill your symptoms without knowing behind the symptom there is a snag problem. We didn't know that. See? That's why whatever kind of treatment you may have been receiving, never what? Directing toward what? To fix the snag, from snag to sang. It never been attempted. That's why we call this only what? Treatment. The treatment is only what? Focusing on the symptoms, never the cause, the root of the problem. See? We're here this week to what? To fix the snag to the sang, right? Yeah, bravo, right? Yes, finally, you are now hitting the bottom. And then when you hit the bottom, then this is indeed what? See, new start. See, new start only happens when you hit the bottom. Right? Yes. Then, yes. There's someone from Seattle who hit the bottom. Very hard. And then, she sprang up very powerfully. And And it was wonderful if you hear her experiences. You know. And so it is very interesting. Now, can you see what the sickness is, right? Yeah. So now you can have a definite hope based on scientific knowledge you have about genes. All this kind of disease happened because of what? Gene changed, right? The snag happened. The base sequence is sort of what? Mixed up, right? So it used to be AT, ATT, GC, GC. Now it's not what? AATT, ATT. It's different. Yeah. You can call it the AT&T problem too. Yeah. 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 So easy. So easy. So now you found out it's easy for the normal gene to change to abnormal gene, right? Sang can change into snag. Therefore, snag can come back to what? Sang. Yeah. Therefore, healing is what? Possible. That's why the healing was very easy for God, indeed. Why? Because He knows Sang, original what? Original sequences. If He look at you, He can see what? Snag immediately. You know. So if you want to receive His click, right? He can. Yeah. Then make it Sang. Then you say, yes, I am Sang again. You know. This we call healing. Okay. Don't think God did something very complex. Amen, right? Yes, He is easy and simple. See, when you're in love, everything becomes what? Simple. When you don't love each other, everything becomes complex. You know. Yeah, you know that, right? Yeah. Very complex. When you're in love, things can be so simplified. See, this is the secret of New Start. Okay. If you don't know this, then even New Start become very complex New Start. Okay. And even New Start is now what? Directing toward what? Symptoms. And you use this, eat this, this herb, that juice, and you're not going to have any kind of juices here, okay? Yeah. Because juices cannot change your genes. Yeah. Yeah. When you say amen, listening to this, we call truth, right? I am telling you something very simple. It is truth of God. God is finally revealing through the scientist this kind of simple truth. Yeah. God, I feel that God is really pleading to the scientist. The atheistic scientist. Hey, you guys, I am here. Don't you see me? Can I show you that? Okay, let me see. Okay, let me show you that. Look at this. This is amazing thing. Okay? We'll do this later. This is better. Okay. Look at this. So far, scientists believed the gene only determines some kind of physical qualities, right? Whether you have brown hair, black hair, or blonde. But scientists lately found out a gene also determines what? Behavior too. Yeah. So, we can say, oh, this boy exactly behaved like his dad, right? So, scientists were had a question, it does behave really inherit in the gene? Yes. There is behavior genes. Yes. Behavior genes too. Okay. They studied with this behavior, the mating behavior of these fruit flies. Okay. Look at understanding the genetic construction of behavior. Studies of courtship and the mating. This courtship and the mating in the fruit fly offer a window on the ways gene influence the execution of what? Complex behaviors. Okay, this is female and this is male. Okay, how they're wired, nowadays people use the word what? We are already pre-wired, pre-programmed, right? They are pre-programmed to do this. When this male is interested in this female, guess what? This male must approach to this female from 45-degree angle right side. You already knew about this? Okay. I guess so. From left side, it doesn't work. This is very interesting. Okay, you know what? When you look at human brain, we have a brain separated, right? Right brain and what? A left brain. Do you know how the difference is between right and left brain? The right brain is more of what? Intuitive brain. Okay, sort of feeling brain. Oh, how beautiful! You know, that kind of. You know, oh, I feel like that kind of brain. It's a right brain. Left brain doesn't do that. Left brain says, okay, this is why, okay, I now know, okay, that's why. So left brain is very what? Logical brain. And this sort of what? Analyzes, and this sort of what? Calculates, you know. And the left brain does not have that intuitive what? Sort of quality. And so there are many people in this world who has what? Who suppresses one side, you know. So many women suppress the left side, and I don't count money, you know. As far as money goes, I don't have any more left brain. I use, and so many men, you know, they completely what? Suppressed the right brain, and he only, you know, debates and calculate, and you know, if you have that kind of husband, it's a really big headache, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's why when you ask for a date, courtship, you have to approach from right side, right? Yeah. You know, if you know what left side approach means. This means, in case of human being, this means how tall are you? How much do you weigh? It is not going to work, right? It's never going to work. So right side approach is what? Oh, how beautiful you are. You know. Did see each other before? That kind of thing. Okay. Sort of, you know. It doesn't have a message, but it has a message. That kind of thing. It has to be 45-degree angle. Okay. That 45-degree angle means what? You know, 45-degree angle is a kind of what? Attractive, sexy angle. You know that? Right? Yeah. So, God, it's interesting, right? Yeah, yeah. And if it is a rectangular angle, it doesn't work, isn't it? This is how they are programmed. In the gene, there is a mating genes. They found that fire, you know? Yeah. And guess what? How female is wired to respond. I guess you know. You don't even have to look at the picture. You know. And a boy is coming to you. And you're so glad. Yes, he's coming 45-degree angle. You know. And you know what he means. And then he asked, and what do? You didn't notice. Or he said, do you have time, this weekend? And you says, no, I'm busy. Okay. This is exactly what fruit flies do too. Okay. Isn't that interesting? The female, so ignores and pretend she didn't know anything. Then this male should never give up, right? Oh, wait, there's something. And then female says, okay, what's the matter? Then look at this. Male must move to the right side and vibrate only, not this left wing, only right wing. Yeah. And vibrate and sing the serenade. You know what scientists found out? If this vibration is too fast, what happened? It's not romantic. If this vibration too low, what happened? It's not that. So the God already what? Put just right vibration. Yes. Yeah. Right. And so when it vibrates according to the original program, it sounds like then female goes, okay. And this happens this way. See, all these 6 steps, I don't want to show you this too long. And all these 6 steps are exactly taken every single pair between male and female. They never had, sex seminar. Okay. They never had lectures, but they all do exactly like that. We call this what? Instinct, right? Do you know what instinct is now? Instinct is the creator, the God's idea, which is put in what? Into the cells in a base sequence. Wow. Now we figured out instinct. You know what? What the sickness is? That God's instinct of the original instinct of the cell has been lost. Now, cell acquired what? Acquired instinct. Okay? How? By the what? Changing of base sequences. Sang is a good boy. Sang is nice looking. Sang is, happy. Sang is healthy. Sang give excellent lecture. But it's smell. Oh. I'm not happy. I'm not healthy. Can't give you lecture. I'm sick. This can be mental disease. This can be physical disease. Yes. See, there's no difference between mental or emotional or psychological sickness and what? Physical sickness. Because everything is controlled by the what? By the genes. Yes. Yeah. We used to call, that's more psychiatric, psychological. We had this kind of what? Dualistic, separative, idea. But it's the same thing. Its only difference is what? Which gene has that snag problem. That's the only thing makes the difference. Okay. Now, Now let's look at this. Okay. Do we have 5 minutes sign too? Okay, thank you. Okay, this is a cover of the Science News magazine, which was published in October 9th, 99. Actually, this happens in Arizona desert, you know? Yeah. Scientists were studying the ecosystem between these desert animals, and they found out something astonishing. Okay? What's so astonishing? Look at this. Rattling the what? Rattler. Who is rattling? Who is rattling the rattler? You know? Yeah, this ground squirrel normally is the what? Prey of the what? Rattler. Yeah, rattlesnake. You know. So normally, instinctively, whenever they encounter this ground squirrel encounter with the rattler, they run away. You know. But this time, this guy is not running away, and so this rattler bit him. Actually, bit her. Her. This is her. It never happens to him, you know. Yeah. Yeah. But you know, normally, you know, this rattlesnake poison is venom is very neurotoxin. This is what immediately make them what? Paralyzed, cannot move. Okay, so they can swallow. You know, isn't that terrible if this ground squirrel can move while they're swallowing? You know, it make them gag, I guess, right? But you know, this guy is not dying at all. Instead, this guy is now trying to bite rattler, and this guy is now what? Running away. Wow. That's why they put this on the cover of this famous, you know, scientific magazine. You know? To me, this is what? God is really, God is actually shouting to scientists. Do you know why I think so? So scientists know very well, you know, scientists sometimes to study the ecosystem, scientists, they camp in the desert. And they stay there for 3 to 6 months, even sometimes 1 year. And they check every hole. They know all the addresses. Who lives here, who lives there, you know. Yeah. And they know. And they found out about a week ago when this guy met this rattler, she ran away. But today she doesn't. Guess what happened? Then they found out this ground squirrel become mommy. Mommy 2 days ago. Yeah. And she doesn't die. She cannot be killed. Why? Why? She ran away a week ago. Now she doesn't even run away a week ago. Now she's bitten and she's not being killed. Why? Because this ground squirrel is now manufacturing something, new protein, right? Which can neutralize the venom protein. Wow. New protein is produced. Now she's manufacturing new protein. Means what? Means she now has new what? New genes. That's right. When she becomes mommy, someone writes new genes. By what? Remote controlling. Click. It is just like I remote control my computer there. You know? Isn't this so clear? There's someone who knows she become mother and she need to live, right? Wow. You know what? This phenomena is beneficial only for the squirrel, You think so, but it's not. It is also beneficial for what? For the snakes too, you know. If this rattler can eat them up, eat this mommy up, what happened? All the babies going to have to die, right? Then if this thing happens all the time, then entire Arizona desert, the ground squirrel will what? Disappear. Then if they disappear, who will disappear? The snake will disappear. See? If everything disappears, who will disappear? Monkeys will disappear too. See, can you see that someone who is aware of what? Everything, right? Someone who's aware of which squirrel have baby. So exactly that squirrel alone, that someone is now changing what? The base sequences. Yeah. That's why he made the gene so what? Easily changeable. See? So we can see. So this is really revealing us that somebody is trying to reveal us that he is there, right? And this is a very powerful message from Creator to me. Okay? This is a not just what? Ecological phenomena, right? It is what? There's a message behind it, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We're not simply left alone. That someone is constantly what? Taking care of us. Yes. You know. And to know this, to accept this kind of idea, wow. Then, you know, you can be a brave monkey. Right? Yes. That means we can be what? Spirit-filled what? Christian. See? Yes. Yeah. You know. There is God who knows me. You know. And so this is, to me, I think God is trying very hard to impress His own existence to scientists. Then scientists can say what? Look at this! I used to be an atheist, you know? Now I cannot deny what? God anymore. That was God's purpose, to reveal this kind of thing to the scientist. But you know what? All they do is, sometimes ground squirrel can rattle the rattler. That's it. You know, how sad, right? How sad. I call this kind of thing fact. The ground squirrel can rattle the what? Rattler. It's a fact now. We call it scientific fact. But we need to know what? Truth, not just a fact. Yeah. Truth is that there is what? There's someone who loves all the creatures, right? And controlling this ecological system without us knowing. See? In this context, you can really leave your genes, your snag genes, into his what? His hand. Yes. Yes. In a way, it's so easy, you know. So let me ask you this. The way these fruit flies are mating, it is not the way they want, right? It is the way who want? God want. Yeah. God designed them that way. See? That's why we have certain designed way to live. Do you know what true freedom is? The true freedom is finding that what? Designed way of life and follow that. So we have now what? Freedom to follow that. That's freedom. You know, we have what? Bad definition, bad concept about freedom. Whatever we follow, then we are not feeling free, right? Yeah. But you know what we are following? I don't want to follow God's way means what? I want to follow somebody else. That's what it means. So that somebody else says, don't follow God. God fixed your way. He is not allowing your freedom. That's a lie. That's only what? Fact. But the truth is, He allures us to what? To follow whose way? His way. And He says, this is the freedom. Do whatever you like to do. Eat whatever way you want to eat. Is this freedom? While you're doing that, you are what? Changing your genes, right? And you're losing what? Sang and become snag. So you have a freedom to become snag. See, in this world today, we call this what? Abnormal freedom. I call it snag freedom. That's not freedom. Sang. If I am designed as sang, and being sang is what? My freedom. So I must reclinch the freedom to become what? Sang again. See? You know what New Start is? Then why we do this program? To what? For you to what? Regain that lost freedom. See? Yes. When you really recapture this lost freedom, to really think, we should be what? Free to think. We should be able to what? To be so free to eat the way God wants me to eat. See? What a freedom. See? But you know what? Our genes respond to the meaning. Right now, I am what? Restructuring the meaning of the what? Freedom. You came here. Okay. We have a Peter. Peter came here, and Peter didn't know what the kind of program is this really. So he was kind of what? Pushed from behind, right? And so Peter feel what? Shoot, I have no freedom, And then Peter eat here. I have no freedom to eat hamburger here. I have no freedom to drink coffee here. If you begin to feel that way, that's what? That means your definition of freedom is what? Totally wrong. It's a snag freedom. Okay. You enjoyed the snag freedom for a long time. Now you are trying to be what? Set free from that snag freedom. See? Now we need to recapture the real freedom. The freedom God, the Creator, already designed into your genes. That's really what we are trying to find ourselves. Now we are really trying to recapture the true freedom to become truly me. See? Yes. Yeah. There's one lady from Canada who recaptured, herself. Really. Yeah. She couldn't eat anything good. Nothing she could eat. She became allergic to this, allergic to that, It wasn't the original Lena. That's right. It was a totally altered Lena. And it was hard to what? To become Sang Lena, the snag. Everything changed. Now she's able to eat anything. She can be happy. Before she was what? Complete basket case of what? Yeah, junk. Really. Junky feeling all the time. Yeah. Yes. And so, look at this. This is when I saw this picture, I said, "Thank you, God. You know, you are crying out. You know, at the end of the world, the Bible says what? I even make what? The rocks to cry out." But here, look at this. This is what ground squirrel is crying out. That I know God. He says. See, I have my own God. I can what? I can kick away Satan, the snake. Okay? You are here to do this. I hope you get, right? I hope you get the click of God to kick away your snake in yourself, right? Yes. Which is what? Telling you lie that you can have this freedom and that freedom. You know? That's not the freedom. Yeah. Freedom to change your gene into snake? Do you want to call that freedom? See, that's why from the beginning of this program, we need to reset definition, right? We need to reset meaning. Why? Because our genes are responding to the meaning. That's why we need to reset. So I call this, we need to have a born-again meaning. See? We are living in what? In such a not really being born-again meaning in our life. We use all the vocabulary. You know. It's not really being born again. It's not really being reinterpreted godly way. We are still what? Perceiving everything in worldly, sinful way. And that's why this bad meaning is ruining our genes, which is responding to the meaning. See? So, I used to drink alcohol. I used to love beer, whiskeys, and gins, and I had many bottles in my home bar. I love to drink. And last year I met my high school buddy, and he knows I become a Christian. You know what he told me? Sang, what a poor life you're living. You have no freedom. He thinks he's enjoying what? His freedom to drink alcohol. You know what I said? What I had to say to him? Finally, I'm set free, man. Who is right? See? You have to make a choice, really. Who is right? See? I'm glad I found the truth. See? I'm so happy to find the truth which set me free. Hey. Right? This is amazing happiness, And I look back at my life. Wow. I felt happy, I felt proud, because I had a 2 Mercedes-Benz, Yeah. I had one tiny one what? Huge one, Either one I was proud of, When I was driving out with my huge one, I was proud. When I was driving what? This SL, right? I was proud, All proud, different way. But now I realized that I have now freedom to be happy with the Toyota. You see? With a tiny Toyota, Toyota Sienna, which I drive. Yeah. It's a wonderful freedom, right? I am free to be happy. See? You know what freedom means? When you finally recapture that freedom, then God has the freedom to refix your genes. See? freedom works both ways. See, God gives you freedom, and God enjoys His freedom to repair your genes. Wow! Then you know what freedom really is. Then I am set free from my asthma, my colitis, my arthritis, my sinusitis, all this is problem. Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? I really feel free. I was so shy before the public. Now I'm not shy at all. Why? Because there's no reason to be shy, because God gave me the wonderful truth. If I speak to you, you'll love it. Why should I be shy, right? Yeah. It'll change your genes too, right? I need to speak up. Why should I be shy, right? It changed me totally. See? That's why I'm excited, And that's why even after the automobile accident, I have no time to get sore. Really. Because this exciting freedom, this joyful feeling, it overwhelms me all the time, and relaxing me, No matter how busy, I am totally relaxed. Even in the accident, I found out I am relaxed, Yeah. But that's why my muscles are not sore. Because I knew 10 years ago, I had a similar kind of accident. I was so sore. I could not give lectures, really. It was a Pennsylvania camp meeting, and on the way to the camp, I had a similar accident. And next morning, I woke up. Really? I was so sore. For 3 days, I was dying, But this time, nothing. Praise the Lord, Yeah. So when you set free, you're free from really lots of things. See? Okay, now let me stress one important point tonight, then I'll be done. Okay. So scientists, this is not really Christian picture. This is really scientist picture. Look at this. So this is 21st century human picture. Okay. What is human? We're not a bunch of meat. Right? We are a bunch of meat in fact, right? But in truth, we are not. What are we? We're a bunch of letters. Okay? Well, a bunch of letters is also still, it's a fact. Anyone has Bible here? Oh, okay. Yeah. Here I have Bible. Oh boy. Would you open it? Okay. Here we have Bible. If someone look at this Bible and said, "Oh, what a bunch of paper." What a stupid man he is, right? See, human being is not a bunch of meat, really. It's a stupid thing to say. Even though it is what? Fact. Still, it's a scientific fact, isn't it? Right? So, what? Science ruins a lot of things. I love science, but if you only stay at the scientific level, you ruins everything. Why? Because scientifically speaking, what are these? Bunch of paper. Isn't it? It's a science. Science doesn't care what's written in here. See? Okay. Then, if you look at carefully, wow, there's a lot of alphabet. But still you're stupid, right? Still you're only being scientific, that's all. Now, the letter is devised. Letters are created to reveal what? Reveal the message, reveal what he means, right? So, we are not bunch of letters, we are what? It is letter reveals the will, right? We are what? Will of God. Isn't it? That's why Bible says what? God created us with His Word. By the Word, what is Word? Word is will, isn't it? Yes. So in His will, we are a bunch of His wills. You know? What a fascinating thing. So, this Bible is not a bunch of paper. This Bible is not just a bunch of what? Letters. This is what? Will of God, isn't it? Yes. This is will of God. Yes. The will is something invisible, something intangible, right? The will become tangible is Bible, isn't it? Do you know what? The will, which is totally intangible, become tangible being. That's what? That's us. Each one of you are the what? Tangible, visible will of God. Amen. What a powerful thing is this. This is what? You are refinding yourself, you know that? Yeah. You are very, very important being. You know. If you think you're a bunch of meat, you will treat yourself as a bunch of meat. You know what? And so you will put what? Anything what the bunch of meat deserve. Yeah. So what? It's a bunch of meat. You have a bunch of meat. You have a bunch of meat. I do. So we put anything. You know. But you know what? When we finally know this, every single individual cells, on it, the will of God is what? Written. So our cell is simply a paper. And the will of God is what? The letters printed. Right? So invisible, untouchable will of God become what? Touchable being. Wow. Awesome, isn't it? So let me show you. Yes. Awesome. Yeah. Now, let me show you this. Okay. This is an amazing thing. Okay. 2 Corinthians chapter 3. Look at this. Clearly, you are on what? Oh. You are on what? Epistle. What is epistle? Letter. See, I read so many books, but Bible is only book which is telling you, you are what? You are on a letter. Letter of who? Christ. Isn't that correct? Right? You know, it is a biblical level of the what? Definition of human being. You all are a letter of what? Christ. Awesome, isn't it? There's no other books, no other person. There's no other what? Saints or no other, whoever in the world never said this. This is God spoke to Apostle Paul, right? We are, you are an epistle of God. Look at this. Ministered by us, okay. If you are listening to me, then you found out this evening that you become what? You are, not really become, you are an epistle of what? Christ, then you found out you are an epistle of God ministered by Shang Li, right? Yeah, ministered by us. Written not with ink, but by the what? Spirit of the living God. Living God. Not on the tablets of stone, but on the what? Tablets of flesh. That is of what? Heart. What is tablets of flesh? Which Spirit of God written. What is it? Your genes, right. Paul did not know the word gene, but Paul knew what? Gene is in us, where God's Spirit can what? Write. Wow. Wow. So I show you plenty of evidence, scientific evidence and biblical evidence tonight, right? And God can change your what? Gene. Therefore, God can heal you, right? There's no difference between any diseases whatsoever. Because if God can change one gene, God can change another gene, right? So God cannot heal my disease. Don't say that. That's a very unscientific concept, okay? So praise the Lord tonight. You now know who is the true healer is, right? Who is God who created base sequences in your gene, and He's constantly what? Trying to protect and watch your gene. Now somehow your genes went wrong, and God is eager to what? To repair and to make a snag into the sand, right? Praise the Lord. Amen. Amen.